Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 317 of 4th and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Mr. Hollis Thomas in the building. We are talking the Eagles versus Packers recap. Obviously, it was a dub in prime time. They dropped a 40 burger. You know, I was a little upset that Jake missed that extra point because it would have been 41-33. That would have been like some messaging that I would have liked.
Interesting. I never thought about that. That's a good bring up there.
You know, but overall, I think Jalen Hurts, the man of the hour. Jalen Hurts, the man of the hour. I mean, this guy has been doing some amazing things. Whether it's being a leader on and off the field, at the end of the day, he's putting defenses in a blender. When we drafted Jalen Hurts, the one thing I would normally bring up very often is his ability to recognize man situations and put defenses in blenders. Like, if you want to go man, okay, you better have a spy on him. But the man was putting up yards for days in the first half.
Even with the spy, though, Gil.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if you remember the first one where he put the spy that he gave him tickets to the matinee show and they had the cart number 26 off.
Yeah. I mean, he actually broke 3 sets of ankles in a matter of 10 seconds, bringing up a lot of chunk plays. And again, it is what the defense gives you. And I think as Jalen Hurts, as the chef of and the lead chef of this offense, you have to find different ways to cook, especially with Dallas Goedert being out, other guys stepping up, banged up AJ. You know, that back shoulder fade to Quez Watkins was phenomenal and right before the first half. So I think this guy's figuring out ways how to cook. And overall, I'm excited what I saw to transpire. We could talk about the defense and
we're not going to do that, but I was going to add to what you were saying about the run game because my man's Booby Miles is he put folks on notice. He's like, I'm not going to be running east to west no more. I'm coming downhill and I put you chumps on notice. And he's running with vengeance. And that's all I've been wanting to see from this young man. Is him running with a purpose. And now that I think he's starting to get it. And it's like I don't know, 26 carries, 100 how much yards?
He had 143.
Yeah, but he had 2 and a couple of touchdowns, and it was, dude. It's we can't say enough about the offensive line because without the offensive line doing what they do, then our skill positions would be nothing. We would just be another St. Louis Rams. I mean, LA Rams. If you look at it, all the Rams are missing is the offensive line. They have a quarterback that's viable, and they have weapons around him, but their line cannot block. They can't block anybody. They can't even block a cold. They can't block anybody, and their quarterback is in concussion protocol. But you have to give it up to the offense, the whole offense. I guess they had the brain this week because they've been passing the brain around. And I'm not going to even go to I'm not going to go to the negative yet. But
we got plenty of time to get to the negative.
We got plenty of time to get to the negative. Let's bask in the glory. Let's make this a true victory Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I look at it, like, a 40 burger, it's hard to get upset about a 40 burger, man. I totally get that we were keeping the Packers around in that way longer than we should have. 40 points is 40 points, man. I am challenging you guys right now to bring up a more well-rounded Eagles offense than you've ever seen. I really can't put my finger on it. When you look across the board, offensive line, quarterback, tight end, running back, wide receivers, stacked across the board. I mean, when Dallas Goedert comes back, we did this without Dallas Goedert, who's one of our lead weapons involved in this offense. So
Jack became the Brent Selleck of this offense.
Yeah. but it's honestly crazy, man. Just what Jalen Hurts was able to do in this game. I mean, Gail, you said it. He was out there just snatching ankles. It has to be crazy for Miles Sanders to look up at the board and like see after what a phenomenal running game he had, and then he's like, Jalen still got me by like 15 yards or so. But you look at this team as a whole. We ran the ball 49 times, and we averaged 7.4 yards per carry. That, first of all, that's a ton of times to run in a game. 49 times, but you average 7.4 yards a carry.
Why go away from it?
Why would you stop? It's a formula that works. Keep on running it down their throat. This offensive line is on one right now, man. I really don't have many complaints. Obviously, we'll get to some negative parts of this game, but like I said, 40 burger, 10-1. I'm basking in glory.
I mean, you should be excited about what you see from the way that the Eagles are winning. I think the old saying of like good teams find a way to win. I think that's exactly what they're doing. I felt like they always had a counter for every punch that the Packers threw. All the quarterbacks that the Eagles have faced. Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the biggest of the quarterbacks. So the fact that he won against the GOAT. This is exactly what Jalen Hurts said after the game. We got the GOAT. He's a big fan of his game, but I felt like the way that he carried himself, the way that he, just the thing that I love the most are some of these playing QB runs, and it's not even like it's a numbers game. You look at the box, and me and Prime were watching the game together, and I'm sitting there pointing. I was like, do the numbers every play, point out the numbers. I was like, if it's even, we're leaving. So I felt like it was just it was a mismatch. And I love to see it.
But yeah, the one thing I think that's kind of lost in translation here is the fact that when you do have the numbers, it's not often that you would trust the center on a linebacker in any situation, except for Jason Kelce, who's not only in those runs did he handle business, but against a guy who everybody considered the kid Clark, number 97, who everybody considered was a dominant person. He shut his ass down. He had it was like poetry. It was like watching poetry. And I was thinking to myself, what is this kid? It's like, what's up with this kid? He took him totally out of his game. And the way that our offense has been doing that to people, that's what I love about our offense is when we get them out there and they get them rolling like this, nobody can stop them. Now I'll wait to get to the other part where the people that can't stop them only can stop them because of some other stuff. But for the most part, I enjoyed this game thoroughly. We did have some. We'll get to the negative parts, which was the special teams giving up 40 yards per return. He returned one. He came out the end zone like 6 or 7 yards deep. I'm like, he's at the 50. What the hell?
Yeah, I actually went back and watched some of these kickoffs. I mean, one time the returner was like 8 yards deep in the end zone, and he's trying to break the record. I mean, the confidence that he's having, he's like, I'm taking it out against this team.
Dude, 5 kick returns for 172 yards. That's what they had against us. That's absurd.
I did look at some of those guys that they were. I saw Nakobe Dean going down there on a couple of plays. I saw some of the plays. Some of the guys were not getting off some of their blocks.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. I was about to say we're having trouble with because we don't have those guys, those third and fourth year guys or second, third, and fourth year guys who know that that's their job. You can't put like the young guys on that because I don't feel like they don't know what it's about yet. And I was asked about this the other day about what does it take to be on special teams. It's taking a special kind of teammate to be on special teams. You have to know that your play does affect. It affects all the entire game. And what I kept seeing, and the only caveat to what El was saying about the 5-1-72, that means we were scoring. Yeah, we were scoring a lot. So, but you have because one of those returns could change the complexity of the game. So, but you have to get those guys to understand that that one play that they're out there playing, you're affecting the game. Exactly. And sometimes it's like when I was in high school and college, I was like, special teams, that's nothing. But when you get to the pros, just picture I'm a D tackle and we punt the ball to them, and we think we got them pinned deep. and they give up a 20 or 30 yard return, and now they're at half field. It's like, damn. Man. So, as a veteran player, you have to go into some of those special teams meetings and let them know, hey, if anybody gets a tackle inside the 20, $500. Hey, if anybody a forced turnover, another $500. It's like you have to because a lot of people don't realize those guys are making veteran minimum, and it's, you got to give them some incentives and let them know that it's a team effort. It's like field position means something in this game, especially when you get to the playoffs.
I will say that for as poorly as the special teams did play, and they did play poorly, there's one guy that kind of stuck out to me and saved a big touchdown. That's Kayvon Wallace, man. Kayvon Wallace.
You know what? I knew as soon as he made that tackle, you was gonna bring that shit up.
You didn't like that he saved the touchdown? I mean, that could have been. I
like that he saved the touchdown, but he also made a good hit on another play that I commended him for, because it seems like he's starting to take some angles and get his feet wet a little bit. But he has to give it to me in more of a little bit more. But that was a touchdown saving tackle. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, somebody's gonna bring this shit up.
I mean, somebody who's been giving maximum effort in his first rollout. Talk about Reed Blankenship. This guy, we've talked about him during the training camp and what he,
Middle Tennessee, right?
Yeah, they had a lot of guys, a couple coaches in Indy when Sirianni was there that actually coached there, and they said this guy's a stud, and he was an undrafted free agent that we brought on, but I think his ability to just come in and make a play. This is what we talk about, next man up, and this is kind of what we've been wanting from Kayvon Wallace.
Yeah,
to just come in and start making plays. But this guy has been doing it. His pursuit angles, except for the Christian Watson play, but he came down, laid a couple hits on AJ Dillon and a couple of other running backs. But I feel like the want to is there. At the end of the day, you want to see players thinking fast and light on their feet. I feel like he said the first thing he wanted to do is just call his parents. His dad and his mom usually go to every game, but his dad was sick, so he couldn't make this game. But he was just ecstatic about his performance. So
yeah, and Mark brings up a point here. I was actually sitting and I was talking to my roommate about that too. That isn't it funny that the two interceptions that happened on potentially one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time was Josiah Scott and Reed Blankenship. And like I said to my roommate after both of those picks, I was like, yeah, that ball is going home with him. Like you picked off a Hall of Famer, man. Like there ain't no way that ball is getting away from you.
You see Slay all jealous and shit.
Yeah. Dude, I sacked and hit Steve Young and what's his name, John Elway and Brett Favre. I'm not taking none of that crap home. Get the hell out of here.
I would. You're a different man than me.
I collect. I collect everything.
Once you start playing, though, I'm not a big collector on that. I was like, there's only people that are before me. Like I got giddy when I met Mean Joe Green and Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long. It's like the people that I grew up watching. But guys I know my peers who ass I kicked before. I want your I want your autograph, sucker.
if it was SpongeBob's autograph, though.
That's a different story. That's
what I mean. Everybody likes collectibles of their own kind, man.
Hey, so what are you saying, Todd? No, I'm good.
Let's talk about another situation that is, obviously injuries are going to happen. We've lost Dallas Goedert, we lost Jordan Davis, we lost Avonte Maddox for some time being, and now we have another guy in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, a guy who's been, leading the league in interceptions, a guy who's made plays when his number's been called. I think he's a guy that adds that spice to the defense as well. Lacerated kidney. I saw someone in the comments asking what is going on with that. If you guys remember, Zach Ertz dealt with a lacerated kidney as well. Played as well. Took him a couple. I don't know how many games did he miss. Did he come back after one game?
It's not gonna be a one game thing. When you get a lacerated kidney, he's probably looking at probably a few weeks and then coming back with a flak jacket on to see how things go. Only reason it's like I've never had lacerated kidney, but I've torn rib cartilage from the muscle. I've torn the stomach muscle, and I've broken ribs. And it's around the same. A lacerated kidney is a whole different animal. It's like you pissing blood and stuff in the whole shebang. It's like that was a pretty good collision for that. But the one thing that he doesn't have to do, he doesn't have to take stool softness like I did because but but the one thing you want to do is you want to continue to protect the kidney, and you want to get him back to being comfortable running and stuff and doing things out there. And I think it's going to be on him kind of because you never know. It's going to be kind of on him. Yeah.
Did the kidney lacerate on itself, or was it because of a broken rib that lacerated it?
It was probably because of the hit.
Because of the hit?
Yeah, the way that he got hit, it was like in slow motion. Like I thought I was just
after he got hit, it looked like he got shot. Like he sat there like he was good for a second, and then he just kind of fell forward. I was like,
because that's how it hits you. You know, it's like you think because in your mind you're like, okay, everything's okay, and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Jones says discount double checked out early. How's he doing? I know he had an oblique injury. Throughout the game, you could see him wincing.
And a punctured lung.
Does he have a punctured lung?
It was something. Yeah, it said it's something with a punctured lung.
They showed that play where he got sacked, and after that play, I mean, the way that we were getting after the quarterback was impressive. I thought there's even Sue was getting pressure. I wanted him to hit him late after the whistle just because.
Just 150. I just need 115-yard, coach. That's all.
I would not like I'm encouraging, foul play, but
you are. I am. Let them motherfuckers know that I'm there. That's actually. The conversation that my dad used to have with me and my mom and dad before every game was, it's like there's nothing wrong with getting a 15-yard penalty. Just let the motherfuckers know you're coming. We have to let them know. Let them know that you're not going to be standing back there unscathed. And so, I think the only time I did it was against Steve Young. Mm-hmm. I felt like he was talking too much.
I do like Steve Young. I do good run.
Yeah, I'd like Joe Montana better.
That run against Minnesota, we all know.
Yeah, I like Joe Montana better.
Okay. Nice guy.
While we're on the topic of the defensive line, though, I want to talk about what has Robert Quinn done so far?
He's not been utilized. And if you want to go into that, I'll give you to me.
I know we've talked about him dropping into coverage. That's obviously silly.
Yeah, but it's like so. Okay, so my thing is this: is when you line up, and a lot of people. I'm sorry for not explaining this the last time I said it. When you line up stripe to stripe every play, the offensive line has a caveat of knowing what the hell you're going to be. It's nothing creative about what you're going to do. Eventually, they're going to win some of those battles against you. And it's like, and if you don't have anything to do, you just know. And then they're doing all this other different stuff instead of giving those guys. It's like, who's Quinn? It's like, so you're giving those guys something to cut up the run, and cutting up the run meaning slants, meaning gap exchange stunts, and it defines the run better for the linebackers because we obviously don't have enough down in the box to cover all the run gaps. And that's what RPO is. If they see two high safeties, then they're running the ball and they're running double team up to our linebackers. If we don't, and so this is what we're ended up happening is we are not in any no passing situations now. And Robert, and it's like you can't have a defense out there thinking. That's what bend but don't break means. It means we're going to read everything. We're going to keep everything in front of you, and we're going to bend, but we're not going to break at the goal line because eventually you'll run out of real estate and run out of real estate to throw deep and long passes, and we'll win and hold you to three. I'm here to force the issue. If I'm playing coverage, I need to cut the run up front so it makes it easier for the linebackers to decipher. When I say cut the run up, it puts also when the linebacker has he's covering the tight end that's out there. If you make his gap not the A gap but the B gap or the C gap, he can get to his coverage quicker because that's his run gap. It's like John Gannon is stinking up the joint. We have the athletes to do what I'm talking about, and it's not rocket science. That's why I wore my NASA shirt. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's basic defense, and but he's sticking up the joint and doing it, and that's why Robert Quinn is not on the field because the guy's got him thinking too much. Guys like that, you just tell them to go.
Now, just going over some of the defensive line snaps from the group. 31 snaps were had by Fletcher Cox and Hargrave.
Yep.
Linval Joseph had 30 snaps. Josh Sweat 29. Brandon Graham had 21 snaps. Ndamukong Suh and Milt Williams had 18 snaps, and Robert Quinn had 11 snaps on the day. So, talk about that 31 snaps. We talked about, Fletcher Cox in the 70 snap range a couple weeks ago.
Exactly.
He looked healthy and looked physical. I saw him moving some guys out, and he got a sack as well on the day.
But did you on those 31 snaps? You saw a more energetic player, didn't you?
Yeah.
As I could be, because that somebody's coming to get you, and it was like one of those things that we haven't touched on, and I haven't really touched on it with you guys. Is when you have a defense, when you have a true championship defense, you want your defensive line coming at the opposing team in waves. That's why we were able to do what we were able to do and keep our back, because you don't want to put the secondary in the bind. When you put the secondary in the bind, because you got guys up front that are tired, that are being spectators, that are not into the defense. Give our guys something to do. Give us an assignment. If we come out and we run the same things like I just got A gap or B gap again. Here we go. Double team. Okay, I got my B gap. They're running again. Here we go. Well, same call. Okay. Same verse, second verse, same as the first. But he has to put some creativity and get something exotic. And if you're going to run the crappy thing that you run, where you drop the end, at least contain the quarterback. Every quarterback is not a burner, but they have enough wherewithal, enough athletic ability to get outside and get a couple of yards and put you on notice and keep the drive alive.
Now, people in the comments are asking, with the CJ injury and safety being, there could be a possibility of I saw D Gun shoot down the idea of Malcolm Jenkins returning as an Eagle. He said he could come back for a stretch. I don't know if he was in jest or whatever, but I feel like I would like it. But at the end of the day, like, is that a real situation? I'll ask you guys: would you like Malcolm Jenkins to come back?
I think we're getting a little bit silly at this point, man. With bringing in all the retread players. What are we, the Flyers? Like that's the type of shit the Flyers do, man. Where they're like, we got to get old Eagles in the building. We already no. I think Malcolm Jenkins. He had a great time here. I just don't think that. I think Reed Blankenship will be able to fill the void, man.
This guy, he's on the Todd. Todd thinks he's going to be a Hall of Fame.
I think that's probably tongue in cheek.
I know Todd's just kidding.
I hope so. And you know what? I'm with Ev on this. I think we go with the young guys because no matter what we think and no matter how much we revere Malcolm Jenkins, he has been chilling. Not so much chilling, but he's been working out and stuff and staying in shape. But it's different. It's a different type of shape when you're playing football. And I feel like we should go from within, and you have to put these guys in optimal position.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's the one thing. It's like who's out there on the streets, because last year I think the Rams brought back in Weddle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so if he's in that type of shape, I mean, I don't have a problem with Kwame Accommodation. We're bringing him back just for that and just for being the presence on the field to know what the hell is going on. Because it's like I don't trust Kevon Wallace, but in the same right. Let me quit hedging here. Don't do the shit unless you really and truly are trying to. If you really and truly need him, go do it. But I think I'm cool with Blankenship and the Cavs, especially if Avonte Maddox comes back. Whenever he comes, if Avonte Maddox comes back, I'm cool with Blankenship stepping into that role. But we also need somebody to back him up. So, and Josiah Scott plays both as well. So
yeah, I was just about to say that. Talking about we were just talking about shaping up well. I mean, we got Primo in the building. He's coming back from the flu. Mans was at when we were watching the game together. I was like, I don't know if Prom's gonna make it, man. I never heard a man cough that many times in my life. How you feeling today, man?
He just left. He just what'd you do?
My apologies. Yeah, I guess I hit the button. My apologies. End of month work is crazy. I just entered the house, entered the podcast, but yeah, man. Sunday was crazy with the weather. I definitely still had the flu symptoms. I hanged in there as best as I could for the tailgate, and then I was saving all my energy for that game, and luckily I did, man, because I was really into the game. I stood up the majority of the game. Had a nice crowd, a very nice crowd around us. So it definitely inspired me and Gail to go ahead and definitely be more into the game. But the momentum going in there was great, man. And then the game plan. I mean, my apologies. I know I'm catching up. You guys probably hit on a lot of things, but
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, but being in the building, man, I gotta say it was one of the great games of the year that I actually seen. Again, hats off to Jalen for putting a good game plan. Being next to Gale, he was reading that defense. He was calling the plays, calling the man coverage. He was pretty identifying that if these guys stay in that man coverage for the rest of the game, Jalen has but the opportunity to go ahead and run all over him, and that's exactly what he did, man. Him and Miles, because Miles had a great game as well. So it was good to see. But yeah, other than that, getting over the flu, feeling a whole lot better. But today was a crazy ass day with work and everything. So just to show how crazy it is, I'm sorry, but I have to pop a beer on the show.
Well, you see, I got my awesome sauce right here, baby.
You said Gale was out there reading plays and whatnot, but any insight on whether he was able to read the clock this time? I know that he's had problems with that.
He definitely had better clock
mistake in the third and fourth quarter.
That's when you have like 7 shots of Jello shots. Those things will catch up to you.
He definitely had better clock management this game for sure.
But those seats, man.
He calls
me. Go ahead, tell us.
He calls me as the fourth quarter start. This was a few games ago. He calls me as the fourth quarter is starting, and he goes, "Yo, man, so how about that game?" I'm like on my TV remote. I'm like, did I rewind or something? And I'm like watching live TV as the fourth quarter start, and I'm like, the game's still going on. I hear you in the car. What's going on? He's like, what are you talking about? It wasn't the fourth quarter.
He was calling you from the future.
That was the third quarter, man. I think that was that was the Steelers game actually. That's never happened in the history of me going to a game, but it is what it is. Right. No, for real. That's why I will only have one.
I think he got into my stash.
One Jello shot. I don't know what was in that Jello shot, but I was feeling it.
You just said it was a Jello shot, so alcohol was in it.
So much.
You sound like my brother one time. We was carrying him out of the bar. Like, somebody put some in my drink. Pop said, "Yeah, alcohol."
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, we shout out all the people that went to the tailgate. I thought a lot of people were like, "Hey, man, it's gonna rain." I don't know, but we did have 100 people that show up and have a good time. We had like a little mini tent camp. We had like 7 tents together, so we had a little tent village. We even Lowski was out there spinning underneath the rain.
Lowski.
So we had a good time, and it turned out to be after 2 hours. The rain kind of slowed down, but I felt like overall the vibes were right. Shout out to all the people that showed up. Man, we had a lot of people randomly come through.
Better prepared for this game as well with our rain suits, our rain jackets, and everything. So we were.
You guys had ponchos on.
Yeah, man. We definitely had our A game on Sunday.
I think I saw y'all in the audience. I was in one of the suites.
This guy.
We actually were looking for you. We thought maybe you were going to be
over
there
Poupon,
with you and whatchamacallit, with Trent.
We also got to address something else here too. I ended up receiving a video from E-Rock from the tailgate. How many people did it take to turn on that grill?
Oh,
that was a problem.
It was a problem.
Wow.
You definitely were missed. It definitely
looked like
was
6
a problem.
people around that grill.
And you are absolutely correct, man. I mean, it took about 6 of us to go ahead and finally figure it out, and then we realized that
there's a giant red ignition on the front.
No. The igniter was not actually all the way in, so we had to tighten it up, and then it came on. So I mean, it took a little bit, but hey, six minds came together and we figured it out.
Wait a minute, 6 minds for one grill?
I was gonna call. I was like, look, should I call Evan for this? Is this a reason to call Ev? I was like, I know he's got
we
family.
Don't know how to turn on. We don't know how to turn on the grill. It's a red button that's cleverly hidden there that says ignite.
I was dying when I got sent that video. I was cracking up.
Shout out to the British Eagles podcast, Irish Eagles podcast, and Liam O'Neill. He pre game, like the day before the game, got an opportunity to go down to NovaCare. And he's telling me, he's like, hey man, mate, I'm going over to NovaCare. I've met him at Xfinity, and I was just like, okay. I was like, he's like, you want to come? I was like, hell yeah. So
damn Skippy.
First of all, there was a question that we had mentioned on the podcast about Trey Sermons, so when I got that opportunity, I asked him point blank. I said, what's up with Trey Sermons and his usage? And he said, like with the amount of weapons that this offense has and the way that Miles is running the ball, the way that AJ and Devontae and Dallas Goedert is in the mix, Trey Sermons is an afterthought, not because of his skill set, but there's a lot of guys that need to be fed. A lot of mouths to feed. Yeah. So when we're talking about getting Trey Sermon involved, a lot has to happen.
So basically, you're saying the pay scale hasn't got to him yet?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he said he likes his game. He likes his game and likes what he's like. I feel comfortable. If we have to put Trey Sermons in, I feel comfortable in his game. And he said he likes his game.
He said comfortable or confident?
He said confident and comfortable.
Okay. Because confident and comfortable are two different things.
But
I'm confident that he'll know what the hell to do. I'm comfortable that he might just do what needs to be done.
Yeah. But who's comfortable? I was comfortable in that NovaCare. I did not want to leave. They had to get security out of there because I was like, "Can I stay?"
No, you can't.
They said, "Come in after you." All right, Gil.
But they, the funny thing is, they do have those basketball hoops all over the complex. Everyone's competing at all times. I know Prime's got a pop a shot in his man cave. They got about like 10 of those laying around. But the person who has the dirtiest? I'll give you. I'm gonna ask you the question. Who do you think has the dirtiest locker room?
Gardner Minshew.
In the, you say Gardner Minshew. What about you, Hollis?
The dirtiest locker in there?
Yep.
It's got to be probably one of the backup quarterbacks.
Nope.
Oh damn.
My answer's wrong.
Prime.
I already know the answer, but I was going.
Oh, okay, Kelsey, man. Kelsey had the dirtiest locker.
Really?
Yeah. I was surprisingly.
Yeah.
That's kind of. Well, not really. He's an offensive lineman, so.
Yeah. His hair's always been mangy.
Yeah.
So we got a question here from Bob from Down Under. He says, how good was Booby this game? Best game he ever ran, I reckon. Yeah. Preseason.
I reckon you're correct.
The thing I wanted from Miles Sanders was to be a nickel and dimer. And the fact that he's giving me those vibes and he's been, he'll get those breaks if you just trust the process. And he's been trusting the process. So I'm a big fan of what he's been doing. Ev, are you back on the train?
Oh, I'm all in. I'm all in on the train, man. I think he needs a healthy mix around him, man. I don't think that Sanders is not. I'm not taking a shot here because Derrick Henry's the best running back in the league, but I don't think that Sanders is a guy that you can run your whole offense through. If he has a bunch of compliments around him, then I think that he'll excel, which is exactly what's happening.
Point taken.
That is a point taken, but it's that goes back to the ball, one ball and a bunch of weapons. So I mean, you got to give him at least. I say the amount of touches he got this game. That's going forward. That should be the amount of touches he should get, especially without Dallas Goedert there. It's like you got to let him impose his will on the opposing team. It'll when you look at it, when you run the ball against somebody and they can't do nothing about it, it hurts the psyche of the opposing team. And it's just like if you watch that game in the fourth quarter when they needed to stop us from getting the first down, they had nothing left because we imposed our will on them. And the teams will stay with you as long as they possibly can. But if you show them that your attempts are feeble, then they'll give up. And that's what I saw last game. And he was part of that too because he was running downhill. He wasn't giving them out because most defenses we're going to play are going to be athletic. So they want you to run east and west. They don't run when you run north and south. It puts them on notice, especially because they don't want you back. The secondary already has most secondaries already have the mentality of I'm here to cover. I'm not here to tackle no run. I'm here to cover. So if you put him out there with some of those guys, It puts him on notice, and he's been. I'm. Somebody say I'm not sold on back to.
I mean, hey man, like we seen Boston Scott eat in the past,
Yeah.
and Kenneth Gainwell ever since his first snap as a rookie, he's gave you valuable snaps.
Yeah.
He's got a nose for the end zone as well, and I think
Gainwell took a dip this year. Let's not be naive.
But I'm just saying that like
past few games he's been doing well, but
but he still has a nose for the end zone.
Yeah,
but this is what you also have to look at. You lost Dallas Goedert, and then Jack Stoll. He hasn't shown us that he could step in and take the pressure off of Goedert. Mm-hmm. So you need that. You need those other two running backs to do the things that they've been doing, so that we can continue blocking this stuff and handling business. So it's like I know you're not sold on the running back rotation, but you have to you can't just have the bell cow like you used to have. You got to get him some rest, and so he'll be fresh.
And I honestly think that it keeps the defense on their toes too, because I think when they see Miles Sanders come out off the field, that they're kind of sitting there anticipating pass, and then if you just run it with Kenny, you can get another 8 yards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big shout out to another guy I want to give a shout out to, Quez Watkins, a guy who obviously with Dallas Goedert going down and AJ Brown a little banged up. Quez Watkins is a guy who has stepped in. Well, I should say stepped up his game. Getting touchdowns the last couple games. I feel like he's a guy who, when you get those opportunities, you need next man up ability, and I think he's done that, man. What do you think about Quez as of late? Because there's these people. I mean, some people have called him a Robin.
I have.
Well, we'll let you talk about him being Batman in this game. So
I mean, he had a decent game. He had 3 receptions for 35 yards and a touchdown. He caught a nice back shoulder fade. Does that make him Batman? I'm just saying he had a decent game. I'm not sitting here on some hater shit.
No. Yeah, what I was looking for was he did his job. What the fuck you expect?
Exactly.
So
he did what's expected.
When they put the Batman signal on, he showed up. So that's Batman.
He answered the call.
No, it's still Robin, sucker. Yeah. He's still Robin. You know when you're Batman? You're Batman when you show up every time. You're Batman when they look to you for a play. That's when you're Batman.
Can be counted on.
Yes, when you can be counted on.
The city of Gotham counted on Batman.
Yes.
And he always showed up.
Yes, Robin just was Robin was an afterthought. He's like, hey, look, it's Robin. Hey, where's Batman at? But we need to. I'm Robin. I'm here to handle.
We need
evil.
Batman, dog.
We need Batman. Then they tell Robin the problem. He's like, yeah, we're gonna need Batman for that. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Now, Mark,
I was happy that Quez showed up, but I'm not going to praise him for something he's supposed to do. Your receiver, catch the damn ball when it's thrown your way.
The timing was perfect, though. I'll give him that on the back shoulder fade. That the ball was beautiful. Everyone did what they were supposed to do that play.
Now, shout out to Oregon's finest, Mark Bird. He says, "Don't forget Elliott crushing the 50-yard field goal. That was a huge play in the sense that
54-yard field goal,
kind of shut down the game. I think Elliott, a guy who's been, he did miss the extra point. It could have been 41-33, but he hit the 54-yarder to seal the game. But I do got to mention that he hasn't really had that many opportunities. I think he's got the least amount of opportunities as a kicker. Even Dicker, the kicker, has more opportunities than Jake Elliott. I mean, we've been putting up some points, a lot of touchdowns.
What do you mean opportunities?
Field goal opportunities.
How does Dicker have more opportunities than?
Because we've been putting up because
touchdowns, bro.
The kicker was here. Dicker the kicker was here. We was running through some sputtering time, and we were kicking field goals.
Well, don't let that distract you from the fact that 54-yarder officially put him as an Eagles kicker. He has more 50+ yard field goals than any other kicker in history.
Eagles history.
In Eagles history.
Yes.
More than the great David Akers.
So that goes to your line of thinking of special teams people too, right?
I mean, I stand
kickers
by
people
that.
too.
Yeah, kickers are people.
Shout out to Rick Lovato too, man. Rick Lovato.
All the STs.
I like Rick Lovato, but get the fuck out of here. If you think I'm gonna listen to a fucking
friend of the show, Rick Lovato.
Friend of the show, Rick Lovato. We love him.
Rick is cool.
We know Rick too. He's been on the show.
I know, but
we'd like to have him back. So let's cut the shit talk.
He better.
He's got a pair of customs. Got a pair of customs too.
I don't have a pair of customs.
Wait,
how do you expect us to make some customs with those big ass feet, man?
You gotta bring me the shoes.
Thanks for showing up, Dick Cheney.
Always here. I'll be here all week.
You sure?
I'm gonna randomly come across some size 14s.
Hey, not 14s.
Keith Byers hit me up and he was like, "Hey man, I need size 15 wide." I'm like, "Bro, where do you get 15 wide at?"
Yeah,
this is out of pocket right here, Heath. Let's remember what Aguilar did for us. Let's remember.
I mean, so we're saying
the best wide receiver the year we won the Super Bowl. Let's remember that.
10 catches in the Super Bowl, bro.
That's big.
Don't be hating.
That is big. But it's like, but to me, Watkins is better because he's playing for us now.
Yeah. Now Donnie brings up a question.
Don't fucking bite the hand that feeds you. Don't start bringing up. Oh, it's kind of like you being in the room with your new girlfriend and you bring up how your old girlfriend used to top you off. But your son, I thought we're in circular trust. Deepest apologies.
So bringing special teams up to the top. Do you think we make any change at special teams coordinator? Michael Clay isn't doing something right, and that's what Donnie had asked. Do you think we have a talk with Michael Clay?
I mean, look, special teams definitely needs to get their game together. I mean, watching it, these guys gained a lot of yards. Their kickoff return yardage was really crazy on Sunday. So, I mean, they had some good field positioning with the way the returner was bringing back out the ball. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what's got to be done, but I mean, special teams definitely has to get their shit together.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you look into it. You can't really switch the scheme in mid-season, but you got to simplify it, and you got to get some guys on there who truly know what it means to be a special teamer. If he's not getting the job done, you have to put somebody in place that will get it done. You can't sit around and Jonathan Gannon it up and think the things are going to fix itself. Oh, sorry.
Couldn't help yourself.
Now, someone brought up in the comments that
Quez is Nightwing.
that Quez is Nightwing, but also AJ Brown is going up against his former team next week. Do you think AJ Brown has a out of body experience beating his former team?
I do. I really do. I think that, you look at, obviously, ever since AJ came here, you see the relationship between Jalen and AJ. And if you think that they're not plotting and scheming right now for AJ to pop off against his old team, especially the way, AJ was obviously butthurt about how, maybe not about coming to Philadelphia, but how he felt he was valued in Tennessee.
How you would handle it happens to all of us as players. They tell you one thing and they do another. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that this game, like the games when I played versus the Eagles and versus the Saints, was circle. Yep. And I gave not so much. I gave more, but I always gave my best whenever I played. But it was a little bit more. It was personal. Mm-hmm. It was more personal. It's like it was like when I played, it was personal, but this was more personal because I wanted to show the fuck sticks that you made a mistake.
So you put a little bit more seasoning on every hit.
Put some more stank on it. Mm-hmm. Actually,
stank on you.
This is the funniest thing. It's funny you say that because during the game when I was playing for the Saints versus Eagles, Brian Westbrook was like, "Oh, you got the Saints got nasty." I was like, "Well, you never played against me in the game. We've only played against each other in practice. This is what happens during the game." So it's a whole different realm where you have to play against me, and I know what you do and when you do it. And I know all your formations. I've been practicing against you for 7 years. And you still have the nerve to come out and try a play action fake on the first play. Donovan, sack, tank dog. I'll be here all week.
you still sound like you're a little jaded, man.
Yeah, I probably need to go to jelly school. Yeah, but shit happens. When a motherfucker shuns you and I think that shit is sweet. It's like, but I had to show you have to show and prove that you still have what it takes to be on top.
Now, Cool Tone says, speaking of listening, are y'all copping the Christmas album? If you guys don't know, the Eagles a couple of Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, and Jordan Mailata are dropping a Christmas album. Are y'all copping? Promise.
The silence lets me know that everybody's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Man, fuck no.
Man, I already got it downloaded. Stop your shit. It's downloaded.
You downloaded it already?
It's downloaded.
You downloaded it?
It's downloaded. It's down. It's on Apple. I got it.
No. I'm sorry, Prime, but you did it wrong. This is a collectible item. You don't have a digital copy of it. You get a hard copy.
You need the record.
Pause.
All right. Well, thanks for telling me what you're gonna get me for Christmas, Evan.
If you wanted somebody to have a hard copy, you got to buy for them. Other than that, they're gonna download like a mother sucker.
Now, Shaquan says that the safety spot is a big issue.
Yes, it is. To me, it is too.
I mean, we have been talking about the backup safety spot for a minute.
It's they're backups for a reason, sir.
I know you guys probably touched on this, but Evan, your boy was shining on Sunday, boy.
Kevon Wallace.
Reed was doing well.
Reed Blankenship.
Well, that was my guy.
Reed Blankenship was.
Oh, really?
Full of valor.
Is it because he's a white guy? Really?
That's right.
It's because I've been talking about him since before you were on this show. That's why.
I've been talking about him since he got drafted. I met him. We shook hands.
I've been talking about him since he was in his dad's balls.
I'm going to see him on Friday.
Oh, word?
At practice.
Well, you gonna take me with you?
Probably not.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. He's actually from the same town that Quez Watkins is from. Also, Phillip Rivers went there as well. He's a guy that standout player, man. Yeah. The funny thing is, I mean, is he going to become a fan favorite?
If he keeps making plays the way if he keeps making plays the way he makes them, yeah. I like him because I think he's a smart kid, and he's one of the more intelligent safeties that I've seen.
I agree, man. If he keeps on playing the way he started off on Sunday night, and we're not talking about preseason, we're talking about actual games. Yeah, bro. I'm sold.
I can already envision what's going to happen with this. It's going to be the same exact thing that happened with Rasul Douglas, where he doesn't end up getting utilized enough. We see flashes of good play, and then he ends up going somewhere else. We got the rights. That's going to be what happens with Reed Blankenship.
Hold on, Dick Cheney. We have the rights to him for the next 4 or 5 years because he signed here as an undrafted free agent. So we could tender him an offer. So we have the rights to develop him and handle business. And Rasul, we didn't use him. Did you even hear his name called besides on holding yesterday?
Rasul was it was taking it to Rasul.
They were taking it to Rasul
purposely too.
I mean, I was telling Prime, I was like, yo, I'm going after Rasul. I'm going after Rasul.
He's a double move guy.
Good dude. He played his ass off last year. So we'll see.
Well, he wasn't with us, so go fucking.
Now, Jason, with a question for Tank, he said, thoughts on seeing former teammates this past weekend, Dawkins, Douglas, Cole, Thomas, Westbrook. He said he teared up.
You did? I didn't tear up. I talked to them a lot, but I don't.
We know that, Tank.
What's going on here, Tank?
That's the brunch that they had delicious bacon and eggs there. It was a brunch, and we were
looking at it
actually on the panel. Well, now you can't see. You see, I got my shades on because it was extremely sunny in there. It was a good time. That was where they had the Q&A with I guess the season ticket holders, a bunch of season ticket holders that had bought and paid to come and ask some questions. And we were part of the panel. Myself, Connor Baldwin, and Ike Reese came. And as you can see in this picture, Hugh's son is getting extremely sleepy and annoyed. He's sitting on his lap.
We see right here, Mark is saying that you're the pigeon on that line.
Yeah, come on, Mark. Bring it on. I hope you think that. I like when people think that I'm a pigeon, so I can give them a dose that makes them wish they were a woman.
Now Liam, who was there, he's like, Hollis was on his phone a lot.
I wasn't on my phone.
During the ceremony, he said you were on your phone a lot.
I was recording and taking pictures.
Not to call out Leo, but
no, I was taking pictures and recording some of the festivities. So,
I asked him, I said, how was Hollis doing?
I can do what the fuck I want. What the fuck? I'm a grown ass man.
No, because he said it's like, oh, I saw Hollis today, and he's like, I was like, oh, where is he? He's like, oh, he was at the. That's how I got the photo. See.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, he forgot my fucking scotch too.
You guys want to try and break down a Swedish saying? Up as a sun, down as a pancake.
Like I'm Rise the Mill?
I don't know about that one.
I really don't understand it, to be honest with you.
Up as the sun, down as a pancake. Do you have that saying? Does that go for Blankenship? I hope not. Don't jinx him now, guys.
I don't know, Danny. That's a new one to me.
Is he saying like be like level-headed? Don't get too high, don't get too low. Is that what that means?
I don't know, but I'm Rise the Mill.
Interesting. Now he says, "What are your thoughts on Hurts breaking Michael Vick's running yards a game record?" I think what you're seeing is, that's just like you can't take away what Jalen Hurts is doing. Jalen Hurts is doing some phenomenal things. Like he became the first quarterback in NFL history to rush for 150 yards and throw multiple touchdowns in a regular season win. I mean, he's doing some things that other quarterbacks haven't done, and some of the other guys that have done what he did are Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, Colin Kaepernick, and you're adding him to the list. I think what he's showing you is just another sliver of his game, and I think I don't know, man. He's playing phenomenally well.
I personally think that he's just doing what it takes to win games. And that's why I love the kid, because he's not letting all of us jackasses get into his head about being a pocket passer or doing this or doing that. He's doing what it takes to win games. That last game against the Colts, he saw that they were not going to let him pass. He saw that they were not going to let him do certain things, but they were going to let him run because they were running man under with everybody's back turned without a spot. So when you do that and you give them the opportunity to run, he was doing what it takes to win. And that's all you could ask for in a leader.
Here's some couple quotes from Hurts. He said, hold on one second. It's a ton of different scenarios and the ways things can go as an offense. I think that has helped us a lot, being able to be diverse. At the end of the day, I made myself clear that the most important thing is winning. That's what we came out here and did today, regardless of how it looked. We just want to win. I just want to win and get it done. So that speaks exactly to what Hollis just said. I think
Morgan Freeman would have definitely read that better.
Okay, what? Morgan Freeman would have met him. You can't compare him to Morgan Freeman.
Hey, that's funny that you said that. We got a message from Morgan Freeman. Hold on one second.
Well, Eagle fans, your birds are 10-1. You did something the bitch-ass Cowboys couldn't do, and that's beat the Packers. Whatever they say, any excuse they have, tell them to go suck it and fuck the Cowboys.
That's me, man.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'll be. That's a little voiceover. But
I think one thing that wasn't real. I think one thing that you can really take away from this Eagles team is just like the variety of different ways that we can beat you. This offense, Jalen Hurts can run for $150. AJ Brown can catch for $150. Devontae Smith can catch for $150. Every week we're beating these teams offensively a different way. And I think that is what makes us as good as we are. That's what makes our offense to be able to score at will, because there's no way we can beat you with the run game. We can beat you with the pass game. There is no way to stop us if we are making the right decisions. We have talented enough guys that are able to get open every single play. And we have a quarterback that is extremely smart and a great decision maker. He doesn't make mistakes. And so that's the formula right there, man. I think that like this team, man. You're like
oozing. It's coming out.
No, it's coming out because we're gonna have to start having a conversation soon about some fucking hardware that we could get at the end of this season. You know
like what?
I'm
talking about a Super Bowl, baby.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about an SB.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're locked in. I think at the end of the day, I was asking Coach Singleton, I was like, what are the vibes like in here? He's like, man, because he said his friends had reached out to him and said, like, yo, it looks like you guys are having so much fun out there. He's like, yo, we are. Like he said, the coaching staff were all cohesive. He said this team in general is super tight, man. And he said the competitive nature that they got going in the locker room is very contagious. He said, and then he goes back to Nick Sirianni. He said the way that he's developed this culture in the locker room has been amazing. So it just, he was glowing, just like Evan is glowing.
I'll tell you who's not glowing.
Is Evan glowing?
I got someone that's not glowing.
Who?
I don't understand why Pete's upset about Devontae's use, man. I mean, did he not lead the team he led the team in yards and targets?
I thought
Good old feast with Pete.
I thought Devontae Smith came up and made some big plays, man. I thought he moved his that play. It was like 3rd and 12, and he got one off on.
He did, bro. He did his thing.
He did what like the game plan. This one was run it down their throats. They weren't able to stop the run. So why would you drift away from the game plan? Just keep on running it.
Yeah, and for all of those who are on here about their fantasy teams and for their fantasy vibes, go fuck yourself. He didn't throw him the ball enough. I didn't get enough fantasy points.
I have a confession. This year is the first year in the history of my lifetime that I've not played fantasy football, and I used to work at RotoWorld, so for being a fantasy geek, it has been tremendous. Like if you want to free yourself up from stress, now don't play fantasy football. You have a great time. You'll figure out other things to do in your life. Kind of weird, but
I think I might have to cash in on that because I got to be honest with you. Both my teams this year are absolute garbage. I'm sick of wasting the time.
Yeah, I'm in 3, and I'm doing my thing on 1 out of the 3, so I'm good. And I had Devontae on my squad. I mean, just like Devontae's doing enough for us on the field, he's doing enough for me on my fantasy. So I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all.
My 2 leagues, my starting quarterbacks were Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. So that's what kind of year I've been having.
Same thing here.
Oh, these guys.
And the 2 that I'm sucking at, and then the 1 that I'm doing good, I have Justin Herbert in. So I get you, bro. I feel your pain.
Now, Dustin speaks of the release that released 2 practice squad players in
Kennedy Brooks
and tackle Roderick Johnson from the practice squad. So we have 2 spots open.
You're probably gonna get at least one safety and another cornerback to learn the system or something, because it actually depends on who's out there too, because when you look at it. You want a safety to come in and learn the system and see if you can get him up to speed, especially if he's better than what we have. At least to have him back up Blankenship, just in case we really don't want to see what Kevon Wallace has to offer in a more than 2 or 3 place size. But I read that as well. So we'll see what Howie has up his sleeves. Somebody said they released Abraham.
Yeah, they released him after Sunday.
Abraham.
He's not the best in coverage either. So,
we need somebody to roam the. See, a lot of times, a lot of people think when they say coverage, they talk about out here and up there. I need somebody to roam around in the middle to put people on notice. Either I'm gonna pick it off or I'm gonna knock the shit out of you.
Okay, I feel that.
That's what Abraham and he's a good blitzer.
And he's good for that.
Yeah, Avonte Maddox is due back soon. But, while we're waiting on Avonte Maddox, get somebody up to speed on our scheme and our system, which sucks fucking ass. I don't know. I'm sorry, deepest apologies. I don't know where I was going with that. But
now, speaking of the defense, I was watching a presser with Jonathan Gannon. We all talk about accountability. He did say that it was his fault that he put his defense in the position, being up 14. He's like, I should have been more, more with the prevent style of defense.
No, you should be a prevent.
That's what he said. I'm just saying what he said. So then he said I was a little bit too aggressive on that play, and
You've never been aggressive.
So
Pete, I gotta ask you a question here. So as the second wide receiver on a team, you view a 900-yard, 6-touchdown season as a bad one on a squad that is currently 10-1. I'm baffled that you have a complaint right now, bro. Like, what is the issue?
The funniest thing too, Ev, when I look at that, do you know that there was a team once upon a time that had 2 100+ reception receivers and 1,000 yard plus?
Who was that?
The receivers it was Brett Perriman and Herman Moore. And who beat them in the playoffs? I'll wait. By a mile. The Eagles by a mile. 52 to such and such.
When was this?
I
don't recognize.
1996.
Yeah. It was 1996. It was the year I came here. It was the year before I came. It was 95
Hollis Thomas
season.
fix.
It was the year before talking.
Hollis Thomas the fuck. That's what it was.
Yeah, but when you look at it, it's like everybody who's talking all this shit about all those extracurricular. The one stat you're supposed to be looking at is the fucking W. When you get somebody that's worrying about all that extra stuff, like, well, I didn't get the ball, I didn't get to do this, I didn't get to do that. Get this motherfucker off my squad because it's not about the team.
That's why I don't want OBJ. Like, there's all these people that want OBJ. That's exactly what I don't want.
No, but talk about Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith comes from Alabama. This is where you get your opportunity when you get your opportunity.
He's actually from Virginia area. Virginia
minded. Devontae Smith wasn't even a, he wasn't really part of the focal plan of the Alabama offense as a freshman. But who made the damn ceiling touchdown as a freshman for the national championship? It was Devontae Smith. So this
who's the Heisman Trophy winner?
Stats don't mean like he's all about that
Trophy winner.
Devontae.
In your face. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Oh, sorry.
I'm sure he'd rather have hardware than an extra 200 yards of offense.
I agree.
I know. A championship goes a long way.
Now, Dan says Devontae has been such a missing link. And there's a lot of, players that you don't talk enough about and see exactly what they mean to the whole scheme of things. These nickel corners are very, they're needed, man. A guy like Avante, change of direction skills are amazing. He's a guy who can, blitz off the edge if you need him. He's been a guy that can follow those really quick twitchy guys. He'll be back soon, hopefully, man. I miss that dude as well, man.
Jordan Davis as well, man. I mean, Jordan.
Yeah,
Davis
we miss everybody
for sure. I mean, if you just look at how.
Whoa. Gannon hasn't been bad. Jordan, Air Force Reserve Sergeant Walker.
It's Mr. Walker.
Yeah. Fuck that. He's Air Force Reserve Sergeant Walker. He's been god awful. I'm sorry. When we spend as much money as we spend on defense, and you got a player playing 70. Why is my defense playing 70 plays? Wow, 70 plus plays, and that was on the 80%. It's like when you're a good defensive coordinator, you put your guys in winning position. You have to know that if you think long, study long.
Now, Mr. Down Under says, Tank, don't you think Reed Blanky just gets Gannon scheme more than Wallace, or more Gannon's zone sucks?
Gannon's zone sucks. Reed Blankenship is flourishing in spite. Everybody that's flourishing, they're flourishing in spite of Jonathan Gannon. He's not. It's not like he's putting anybody in any particular place. It's like I feel like a coach. It's like we have two guys on the team that had between them had 30 plus sacks. He has them dropping in coverage. We should be leading the league in sacks. You put those guys in one-on-one on the edge because you put not only that, you put the offensive tackle on notice. You put the rest of the offense on notice. You put the quarterback on notice that we about to take his head off. If you cut the head off a snake, can the rest of the body survive? And then it's like I think Reed will get any system because he's just that type of guy. He's just that type of he has that ability as far as a defensive player. Because sometimes when guys go undrafted, people tend to think like, oh, he's doing this. No, he was a good player. He just got overlooked due to the school he went to, or just the Mike Mayock and the what's the other guy with the big hair? The guy with the big hair, the draft guys. They don't know what the fuck
Mel
Kiper. Mel Kiper and Todd McShay don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Which they don't, because if they did, they'd have a job.
Now
Gannon Brugler though.
Now Gannon actually spoke on Blankenship's the mental side of his game. He said he takes elite notes. He's one of the rookies in there that is asking questions all of the time. He said when he's out there, he said when they weren't hitting, he was showing up. He said as soon as we started hitting and putting the pads on, he said he was even showing up everywhere. But he did. Blankenship also mentioned his mentorship by Epps. He said Epps is a guy who's really kept him in check. Every question he's had to ask, Epps gave him the answers to the test. So he's out there, feeling good about himself.
He's learning on the job, and that's what during that picture that you showed. One of the questions was which coaches like made you to help make you the player that you are. And I had to bring up Tommy Brazier, was the defensive line coach with Jim Johnson. Now, before Tommy Brazier, there was Mike Turkovic, who taught me how to set a motherfucker up to get a win for the pass rush. Now, when me and Tommy Brazier taught me you don't ever go to any meeting without a pad and a pen. Because you take notes. You take notes on whoever's in front of you. You take notes and you write down pretty much everything that they say that you don't understand, and you help yourself figure it out. It's like people that don't take notes. It's like they're not going to be here for long, because they're not truly vested in what they're doing. It's like when you're truly vested in what you're doing, you take notes because you want to know. And it's like when you just said that about Reed Blankenship, I love that, because that's what makes me feel warm and fuzzy at night to let me know we got a good one, but we got to bring him along.
I mean, imagine he becomes the Jason Sehorn of the safety position.
Stop it! Jason Sehorn sucked ass.
I know.
Yeah, one kickoff return. He's the only white DB that you can pull out your ass. But just say Dick LeBeau.
Troy Apke,
Penn State.
Say Dick LeBeau.
I think Troy Apke ran a 4.39, if I'm not mistaken.
Say Chuck Cecil.
Sean Considine. What?
Really?
What?
Speed bump.
Keep naming
speed
them.
Bump.
John Lynch.
Speed bump.
John Lynch. We can keep going.
Yeah, Sean Considine is speed bump. You know why I call it speed bump? Do you remember the playoff game? If you pull it up, Deuce McAllister, we were running out the clock. Deuce McAllister got the ball, was coming downhill.
Chuck Cecil from Dan.
I said Chuck Cecil already. But Sean Considine came up and thought he was going to lay out Deuce McAllister. And we'll call Sean Considine speed bump because Deuce McAllister is still rolling. So, I'm a man and I win.
Who else wins? That would be Philly Sports Trip. So now, if you guys are trying to take a road trip, or you're trying to go see some of these games, it doesn't just have to be Eagles game. It could be a Nets game. It could be a Phillies game. Their next following trips, they have the ultimate bus trip to MetLife Stadium, December 11th, to watch the Giants lose against our Eagles. They have the ultimate Birds trip in Chicago. That'll be December 18th. And then following in February, they have the ultimate bus trip to Brooklyn to say hi to Ben Simmons, that guy. And then following March 10th, they have the spring training. Can you believe it? 2023.
I know.
But shout out to Philly Sports Trips, man. They've been doing their damn thing with these road trips.
Don't forget the t-shirt Philly Sports t-shirt. They got my damn Skippy t-shirt on there. You guys didn't get one, so
big mug on there.
They got my mug on there. That said "Damn Skippy."
Are you gonna bring us one?
Yeah, it said "Damn Skippy," and it made you look like about 200 pounds lighter.
That's why you were sick, because you light skinned and an ocean man, and you got funny color eyes too, Luciano.
Man, this guy. So I mean, we will be having a Titans preview coming up soon.
Okay.
I know that is on the books. I think overall, I think everyone's pretty excited about what transpired. I think we got a couple days to think about it, but how
the first toy drive go?
Oh, went great. We got some toys down there. Nice. It's not a one tailgate thing. The next Titans game, if you would like to bring some toys or send any donations, let us know. We're hooking up the Goofy Gators, who they take care of families with kids that have special needs. We last year we provided through you guys a ton of toys, and they said after that, they didn't. Every kid that they worked with had toys and then some. So hopefully we can do that again this year.
Are you okay, Prime? You okay?
I'm good, man. Just trying to make it through. That's all.
You got to get you some tea, man, and some lemon, and get you either some brandy, bourbon, or tequila, and put a shot in there. But also get whatever cough serum that you're using, and put a teaspoon of that in there while it's hot. Change my life.
Put Hollis's sock in your drink too. In the tea.
No, that is it. Now see, pause.
Double pause.
I asked Proms like, yo, cough drops don't work on you, bro. He's like, nah.
No, they don't. It's like because sometimes cough drops don't work. But if you take a cough drop and drop it into whatever tea you're drinking, it'll melt, and you'll get the same the menthol, and it'll clear you up and everything. She says black elderberry.
Black elderberry. All right, I'm gonna jump on that. I'm gonna rather do that than
or you can see you can see a shaman or something.
So you don't want the hot tea with the shot of deliciousness in there,
or some ayahuasca.
Feel good too.
Some ayahuasca.
There might be some in Aaron Rodgers' locker still.
Yeah. Look, giving out. Give it. We didn't know that Hollis Thomas was a shaman.
Was it who?
Shaman.
What's a shaman?
It's like a spiritual healer.
Oh. No, I just know shit to do. I went to the Academy of Math and Science, and
Yeah, Todd said, "What about Michael Zordig?"
Z, that's my guy.
Yo, Michael Zordig was the man.
That's my guy. I love Michael.
Did he have the neck roll?
I never seen a man rock a mullet like that, dude.
Did he have a neck roll too?
You ever see Chris Nady?
Nah. Michael Zordig, you gotta watch some of his videos. Them things came past the shoulders, bro.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Blue Meanie says the Giants game might get flexed.
Yeah, it might get flexed because of
a night game.
Because
they were talking about it.
They were talking about it, so we'll know this coming week.
They got all hyped up, you know what I mean? But we'll see if reality kicks them in the ass again. Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Well, no, but it still may happen because it's got playoff implications. And if you're playing, if let's say the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons are playing, yeah.
Now talking about this coming game, you talk about these clinching possibilities. The Philadelphia Eagles. They clinch a playoff berth with a Philadelphia win plus a Washington loss, San Francisco loss or tie, or Seattle loss or tie. Number 2, Philadelphia wins. Washington has a tie. San Francisco has a loss. Seattle has a loss. And then thinking about getting that number 1 pick, the number 1 seed, all they have to do is beat the Giants. Winning. You can beat the Giants twice. You beat the Saints. You beat the
we beat the Saints.
Titans.
We beat the Saints because we want a higher draft pick.
Exactly. I'm not saying that we want to catch L's, but they could catch an L and still get the number 1 seed. We got to hope for a couple more Vikings losses as well. But
I don't give a fuck about the Vikings. The Vikings suck ass. We kicked their ass already.
Sure did. Let them know.
Yeah.
So start with the last word. We'll go with you, Tank. Last word before we get out of here.
Before we get out of here, the last word. I'm glad we didn't go into too much negativity. We won. That's the most important thing. And being a fan versus being a player, the most important thing is getting the W, but making sure that we still realize that on any given Sunday we can lose, and then just correcting our mistakes and stuff, and righting the ship. Injuries going to happen on every squad. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. And just it's this is going to be a quality. This next game is going to be a quality test. And are we doing the show Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this next game is going to be one of the biggest tests known to man. To me, one of the biggest tests known to man, because we got a team coming in here with a good defense, an extremely good and physical defense, and not only that, they have the formula offensively that's been our Achilles heel the last few weeks. So go Birds, Thug Life, West Side, Who Banging Affiliates. Big Chuck, holler at your boy. G4 status.
It's like a 90s outro.
Audi 5000.
No, not Audi 5000. You sound like Tevin Campbell's little cousin. That's all I have.
Just enjoy the rest of y'all week. Appreciate everybody that showed up at the tailgate. It was definitely another epic one that was put together due to the weather, but the weather held off and we made it happen. I was able to get through, with my sickness and everything, but I was still able to get through. We pulled off the W. Like I said, just be safe for the rest of the week. We got a big game coming up. Tank already expressed on that. We got one of the big best rushes in the league showing up on at the link on Sunday. But, hopefully Gannon and these guys put a game plan, shut that shit down, and, we continue the streak. Keep on going. At the end of the day, you know what it is. Go Birds.
I should have came after you this week for that horse game while you were taking advantage of my opportunity there. I just want to, echo everything you guys are saying. Repeat that, we do have that toy drive next week. If you can, please bring something, obviously not required to attend the tailgate, but would be greatly appreciated. Let's think about the children. Also, I know I'm going to get a lot of eye rolls up in here, but I don't really give a damn because the U.S. men's national team in football is advancing to the next round. You can shove it, Gail, with those eyes.
It's called soccer.
We took.
Thank you.
Huh?
It's called soccer.
As long as you call it soccer, there will be no eye rolls.
I can't even tell if your eyes are rolling, but I'm digging the patriotism. I'm digging the patriotism with the sunglasses. But just to I'm feeling.
My eyes are not rolling. I took it off. I didn't want you guys to see that I've been having a good time before I get onto this piece. and that's what I do around this piece. But if you notice I don't know if you can see the lights and stuff. So once I get through with you guys, I'm going to blast off.
There you go.
Gary's with me.
Pause.
Bullshit, Gary.
Now,
I
wanted to give a shout out to Eagles Demon. He came to the tailgate and he just brought these Igloo coolers, man. It's got
speakers on the side.
Speakers on the side, bro.
That's sick, dude.
I would play music, but I don't want to get the live stream knocked off. But
because you're gonna play something.
I would have, play some.
Hold on, Evan seems a little jelly.
I am jelly.
Hey, I almost cried, man. I've been wanting one of these for a minute, and the fact he showed up with one.
It is sexy. Now
cool.
We're not gonna mention him again until he gets me an Evan one.
Hey man, see, when you show up to the tailgate, you never know what's gonna happen.
That's bullshit. You're supposed to let us know what's gonna happen.
I didn't know.
We didn't know, bro.
I looked across the way. I saw Prime had one. I was like, bro, where that from? I was like, yo, can I get one?
I think we were hosed on that deal right there.
No, we got hosed.
Motherfuckers.
Hey, they sell. If you go to Igloo, they do sell them.
How much you buying for?
Huh?
How much you buying for?
How much would I buy one for?
Dick Cheney. He said, "How much did you buy yours for?"
Free 99, guy.
Yeah, see,
free 99.
For $8.99.
Free. Look, Prime. He's smiling from ear to ear. You know how happy he.
Yeah, I was excited. My man showed up at the tailgate. Man, shout out to Eagles Demon, but he definitely made it happen. And then I'm looking over at Gail, and I was rubbing it in, bro. I was like, Gail, look what I got.
I was sitting there like,
yo, he was like, yeah, exactly. And then next thing you know what I mean? We're going throughout the day, and then here Gail's getting it. And I'm like, this guy, man.
Oh man.
I like Evans. I like Evans. Slightly happy laugh, but I better get one.
Well, Sergeant Walker said his wife is the plug on the coolers.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. And anyone who said that then I had to cut him down for something.
So that's the plug right there, man. That's the plug.
I think he's lying. I think he's just trying to get in good. No, I'm just lying.
Hey. Well, following up with my last word, I just want to thank everyone that came out to the tailgates, had a good time. I want to shout out all the Eagle fans that are supporting your team. They don't make excuses. They don't come up with reasons why our quarterback is flourishing or some stat or whatever. They support the team. They support the guys on the back end, like the Reed Blankenships making plays all day. It's just a support of this football team. Thank you to you real fans out there that come out and support no matter what. Hey man, this Titans game, we'll have another tailgate down there. Shout out to Bud Light and Conchi for their support as always. Shout out to Chris from VA who's always supported us down at the tailgate, getting those spots. That man is a G. But that's all from me, man. Just as always, fly Eagles fly.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys.
Ev, didn't have nothing to say?
I already talked. I was talking about the U.S. national team.
Did I miss that?
You did.
I think you did.
Deepest apologies.
But I appreciate you looking out for me, Tank. Thank you.
Because I want one of those. I want one of those coolers. So.
Oh, like this guy's jealous. We'll see you guys.
Anyways,
in the next one.
I'm letting you know that I am jealous. I'm envious. The guy whoever got you the coolers, he's on notice. When I see him, I'm just gonna start choking him. I'm just gonna start.
Might be the last tailgate Eagles team made it to.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. And then, as always, Hollis is jealous.
Yeah, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Hollis is pissed.